Welcome to Kaleidoscope is for IG. Let's talk. Fashion designer Amilani Perera is not just about fashion. She weaves bespoke fashion into the threads of empowering women. Her self-titled fashion brand, Amilani, has been featured in the 2016 Asian Designer Week and showcased in the USA Sri Lanka Fashion Week in 2017. But what is perhaps the most important aspect of Amilani's work is her partnership with the UNFPA, empowering and uplifting abused women in Sri Lanka. Through this partnership, Amilani engages with survivors of violence in her product development and conducts mentoring programs for these women. Looks like the old adage is true. Not all heroes wear capes. Some design them. Your work with the UNFPA, with abused women, how did this come about?
I was always passionate about this work, and I have been working in sustaining these women. I think I got it from my parents, so it's kind of like a hand-me-down project which I have been working with, but I never thought of fusing this with my line of work, with fashion. It came about in a random conversation I had with one of the UNFPA representative, where we had this passionate talk about gender-based violence, and then she said, why don't we use this platform?
So you have a trilogy of collections already shown. There's Unbreakable, With Her and Heal. How did these come about really? What was the inspiration?
So that was the first collection in 2020, which was a very challenging time as well due to COVID. So the entire collection was based on what I have been hearing, how women and girls get shattered and how they get cornered and pushed around, to tell them that it's not the end of the world. You have much better life after. So that's the message I wanted to give from Unbreakable. Later on only, I actually visited these shelters. Then only I absorbed how wonderful these women are, how creative, and they had so much of energy. What I wanted to give out from the second collection was to let people know that we need to protect the Sri Lankan her, whether she's coming from the northern province or the southern province, or even the central, most wealthiest families, or the most, humble beginning families. You need to protect her for who she is. The third collection was the part where I wanted to connect. That is where the fashion actually fused with gender-based violence. The question of what were you wearing? This is a question which has been asked in the entire world. That's what I wanted to bring out from this collection, where it actually made a point that fashion needs to speak up. It's nothing to do with what you wore. It's everything to do with his internal factor. So Heal was all about that.
When working with these women, what is the one thing that stood out for you?
Their courage. For me, listening to their stories, most of these women, 90% of these women have been, the perpetrators have been from their closest family member. I don't know whether even I have that sort of courage if I had to go through something with that. With one of my family members, because we run to the family if something like that happened to us.
What exactly did you work with these women when you were on this project?
The first thing I taught them was about color theory and about working on embroidery techniques, which Mrs. Caroline Jury wore at Unbreakable collection at Colombo Fashion Week. They know the technique, it's just they don't know how to put colors together. I also taught them about different entrepreneurship skills, how to bring up a portfolio. Then UNFPA wanted me to reach out to the differently abled survivors who are sheltered in Anuradhapura, in Akasa. That was a bit of a challenge to see what would work best in terms of teaching them, and it had to be something more or less the same ground, because otherwise I didn't feel right to give different activities to different people, because the whole point is to make them welcome, saying that you can, all of us are equal and you can bring up something beautiful out of the thing. So I taught them how to weave macram. And Savithri, you won't believe, the person who did the best macram work was the woman who was blind, who couldn't see. That's how wonderful these women are.
If you like our show, you know what to do. Subscribe, follow and like us. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn.